When I was an unbeliever, I absolutely believed that transgenderism was a normal gender variant. I mean, part of it was that I knew a number of people in the transgender community. It's also part of a feminist worldview to believe that sex is separate from gender and that gender is a distinct category of personhood. So that is not true. I mean, from a biblical perspective, that's not true, but from a feminist perspective, that's almost like a catechism. You know, like you have to assent to that before they let you in the door. So that's what I believed. Here we are in 2023. And that idea has become absolutely, we see it to its extreme, maybe, example. I'm a pastor's wife. My husband and I have spoken before the state legislators, trying to simply enact bills to protect minors from being castrated. And yet, you know, we're spit on, we're told we're bigots, we're hated. I don't have a leg to stand on because the last time I spoke at a state legislator before this year was 30 years ago in New York, and I was on that side. But it was a different gay rights movement. It was a gay rights movement that said, leave consenting adults alone, and we're going to put the lawyers and the doctors and the professors at the microphone. Now we're talking about the trans child. This is a very serious subject, maybe more so than anything else that we're going to talk about. And this is ultimately a Christian subject. There is no such thing as a separation between gender and biological sex. The image of God in which we are all made is male or female. This is a complex one. It's a deep one, but what I would say is this is a pressing gospel issue. We are dealing with now people who have been caught up in this lie, and they are waking up to the fact that they believed a lie. Now, the rest of the world makes them a casualty of a mistake, but Christians throw no one away. It is the gospel, and only the gospel, that breathes hope into not only these people, but their parents who cheered them on. Because it is the gospel that tells us that in the resurrection of the body, God will not be mocked. That man will be a man, that woman will be a woman. Now, I know we're talking about a lot of different kinds of people. The transgender movement is a very diverse movement, but for the most part, we're talking about two separate categories. We're talking about people with gender dysphoria. That is a medical illness, not a physical illness. There's no biologic pathogen that informs it, in the same way that there's no such thing as a gay gene that informs homosexuality. The other category is the category that is really pressing right now against moms and grandmas who are looking at this world, and maybe dads and grandpas looking at this world and saying, how do I help? And that is the transgender movement, which is primarily an ideology. And that ideology presses against the gospel in a serious way, because it says that there is such a thing as a transgender person, and that person is a separate category of personhood, and it is a creational category of personhood. In other words, one can bear the image of God and embrace this. As a Christian, it is simply not true. The Lord Jesus Christ, who has ransomed your sin with every drop of his blood, did not make an ally to the sin he crushed on the cross for that sin. He can't. So the good news of the gospel rescues people from that at any place in that trajectory. I am convinced that should the Lord tarry, and historians have many, many years to examine these days, the days of transgenderism and the church being pretty mealy-mouthed about how to deal with it. The church healing the wounds of my people lightly, as Jeremiah says, we will go down as the barbarians who sacrificed our children to Moloch. This is a lie. And it's a lie that has captured the hearts and the imaginations of especially our young people. And we need to defy the lie and the tyrants who are promoting that lie.